music. Thank you to our friends over at YouTube. Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Kenny B here. A quick video from cities and suburbs. And just checking in with you here. It is the 26th of July. And what a July it's been. I mean, we've been so under the regular July norm, if you will, really kind of the dog days of July. I don't think even the dog days of July existed this year. You know, kind of like the Ides of March. I think it's like around July 15th or whatever. But people are still taking their vacations. You should still take your vacations. Moving out of the stupid COVID. Now we're getting into this debate on whether we're going to be wearing masks, even for the vaccinated people like yours truly. I'm not going back to that. I will hold up in high protest to that. I am not wearing a mask for some J-hole that has not gotten the jab. Now, there's plenty of people that have not received the vaccination for a multitude of reasons. I've been listening to radio, whether it's NPR, whether it doesn't matter where it's coming from. Fox, I'm trying to, Fauci, I'm trying to get a handle on what we should be doing and what we're actually looking out for, because now we're enjoying the summer. This was supposed to be the summer of freedom, baby. But all of a sudden, we start listening to the news and should we wear a mask? Should we go? The cases are up, and the cases are up. Stupid, corona variant, whatever it is, should never happen to begin with, and I keep saying that. But it is what it is. You can't go back. So yeah, I guarantee you by the time I think, the Baker administration in Massachusetts said there's no plan on the horizon to mandate mask wearing, even with people who have been vaccinated. I've been vaccinated 4 months ago. I am not afraid of catching corona or the Delta, virus. I'm just not. I'm not a comorbid person, if you will, but I'm just not. And the science is indicating, if you listen from hospitals, particularly from the South, 95% of the cases that are coming in with corona are people who are unvaccinated. So again, the vaccine, pardon me, is, I heard the best analogy. It's like a good goaltender during the playoffs, right? Playoff hockey, NHL. A great goaltender pretty much wins the Stanley Cup. A great goaltender is going to let one by once in a while. Oh yeah, well, even people who are vaccinated are still getting it. So I'm not going to get it. That's 2 + 3 = 4. Go take one for the team, okay? Take care of your community. I'm sorry if I'm being preachy, but if you folks that aren't vaccinated right now, you're making the wrong decision, all right? Jesus wants you to do it. The government wants you to do it. Your friends want you to do it. So just get the jab. And the side effects, give me a break, all right? Give me a break. 4 million people dead worldwide. Okay, let that sink into, let it become cerebral and a little bit real. Sports and weather. Red Sox took 3 out of 4 from the New York Skankies. Really, the Yankees are really underperformed this year. I mean, they're in Boston's in first place, Tampa Bay second. Maybe it's Toronto or New York, but they're not going anywhere. Oh, the corona, the COVID sidelined all our great players. It doesn't matter. I said that before. It doesn't matter. Sports teams, and just like any business, should be keeping their business going. And it doesn't matter what it takes. I mean, you may have an off year or whatever, but because it's the Yankees, we have to have a whole bunch of excuses. The weather is holding itself together. Beautiful day today here in Worcester area, and in Charlton, Mass. Here, 85 degrees. Smoke from all the wildfires pouring to the east. If you haven't seen a great movie with Josh Brolin, please go check out Only the Brave. Maybe you've seen it. I hadn't seen it. I picked it up yesterday morning over the tube. Blown away. Totally blown away by this movie about what it takes to fight wildfires and the toll it takes. You know, I mean, you see fighting foreign wars in Iraq and yeah, that's tough. But just to keep this continent intact also takes a lot of heroics and brave people to do the same. So economics, hiring signs all over the place. Had a meeting this morning. The company I work with, had a meeting with a local grocery store chain of 400 stores, and met with some folks down there to discuss their employment needs. And there's just so many in-demand positions right now out there. It may not be your dream job, but if you want to work, now's the time, man. You know, you lay your claim, because you can only move up right now. You can only move up. Start at the bottom, or what you think is the bottom. Start at a job that is going to get you to where you want to go, right? Personal ambition, brother, that's what's going to do it all the time. So you've heard about the gosh dang infrastructure crumbling of our roadways, not just in Massachusetts, but around the country. You know, the Republicans and Democrats can't come to terms in the House on a infrastructure bill. Stupid filibusters, pork in every bill, a kind of thing, you know. But right now, and I only say this because right where I live, less than a mile down the road is Center Depot Road. We made the news the other day from Charlton here. Other than the Charlton rest stop that's always backed up, or a truck fire, or, you know, whatever. Traffic's always backed up around here. But we had, on Saturday, I believe it was the 24th, debris fell from Center Depot Road overpass onto the Mass Pike, which backed up traffic, stopped traffic. You know, we do such crappy construction. You guys remember when the big dig first opened up, and the panel fell and killed that woman, and I believe she was from another country. Needless, cheap cement. But this fell off the overpass and onto cars, and you could see it. I'll take pictures of it, actually, but if I did that, I'd probably fall over too, so just watch the news. But it's disappointing because, you know, our infrastructure, our roadways are just falling apart. 25% of our state roadways in the state of Massachusetts are considered in poor conditions. 27% of the state roads are in mediocre conditions, which means they suck too. 13% of our state roads are in fair condition. 35% of state roads are in good condition. All our roads suck in Massachusetts. And the reason why is that, you know, let's just say this, the worst traffic bottleneck in Massachusetts, okay? And this is coming off of the state of our infrastructure, roads and bridges. Rocklandandtrust.com financial, whatever. But it's the best thing I could find here. That's pretty recent and telling. The worst traffic bottleneck in Massachusetts is a nearly 2-mile section of I-93 that passes through the O'Neill Tunnel and across the Zachem Bridge. This stretch of highway created by the Big Dig that was supposed to help alleviate traffic backups cost drivers about 2.1 million hours in wasted time, $48 million worth of wasted fuel each year, according to American highway users. Let's go down a little bit. In the 19th century, we built America. Immigrants from Ireland, by the way, built the Erie Canal, a transcontinental railroad. A lot of Chinese labor too from San Francisco. People coming in from China. Built the Erie Canal and a transcontinental railroad. Okay, in the last century, we took over building the Panama Canal, completed the interstate highway system, and set the world standard in freight transportation. But our lead has slipped. We are behind, way behind. The quality of our roads, for example, is no longer rated #1. We're 16th in the world. The Department of Transportation in January of this year, 2021, said nearly $1 trillion of investment would be needed to repair and maintain the nation's crumbling highways and transit systems. So you guys know what's going on. The more we drive, right, the more our bridges, our roads, particularly here in New England, and a lot of people want to say, well, that's because, plate tectonics and it's always shifting. And of course it's always shifting, There's also this argument that people aren't paying enough in taxes to keep the roads up, particularly on the local level. When it comes to state highways, they can apply for federal funding, but when it comes to local roads and, cities and towns are among, they're up to themselves. Here in Charlton, Massachusetts, we're up to our own devices to be able to pay for our local roadways, which are crumbling, potholes here and there, and people filing complaints against the city or town where they get the flat tire or the bus's, suspension system. But we are living in a third world when it comes to our roadways, our highways, and also too, when it comes to, I'll pay my fair share in any kind of tax if I know where it's being spent, right? Taxation should have representation, right? Shouldn't just raise the fuel tax. Oh, we're not paying enough for gasoline tax in Massachusetts, so let's pay more tax and we'll fix those roads for you. No way. You start giving the government more money, and you just don't know where it's going, but you don't have a choice because the tax went up, right? And you don't really have a lot of chance to debate it because the taxes are disguised as fees, okay? Excise tax, right? All those things. You have to pay your excise tax bill, I get it. But where is that money going? So jump on to mass.gov and you'll find out why you guys are going to continue to have a bumpy ride. There's a lot of new technology that's trying to help, improve our roadways with different compounds and things like that. And of course, the earth is always going to shift beneath you. Hello, we're living on a living organism. It's a living orb, all right? It doesn't really care too much about us, but it's nothing personal. But there's a lot of things that, the more and more cars driving and wearing down. And the best thing they probably could have done on, the Mass Pike was get rid of those stupid tolls and just have people moving. So cars aren't sitting, but we're still stuck in gridlock. Lousy roadways, potholes everywhere. And, you pay your excise tax. And again, paying more money to the government doesn't necessarily mean that, the problem is solved. It just, it doesn't work like that. And, the more money, again, you just keep giving money to the government. And I just will have to say that, man, oh man, that's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. So I'm going to go home here and go to leave you guys thinking about that when you drive your car and you're dropping more money for gasoline. We're right about $3 a gallon right now. And you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to drive because well, America is driven by people who drive their cars, you know, and it does create some really interesting. It does create some interesting circumstances for us who drive. We need to drive. If we need to pay, we'll pay. But again, I question what the government does with our money, right? And I'm sick of every friggin' 15 feet hitting something, boing with a brand new vehicle, right? Anyway, guys, my Monday rant, it is the 26th. Welcome aboard. Have a great night. Check out the video. Subscribe to the channel, Cities and Suburbs. Thanks for watching.